dates during to Asia. Available in Swiss hotel hotels and resorts across Asia.
Now camping along a crocodile-infested river and breathing huge whirlpools in a dinghy, our next guest has done it all. But more than just a thrill seeker, Sobrane is an artist who just wants to capture nature's beauty in the raw. Her works on the wild side, walks on the wild side, have resulted in artworks that reveal untold stories of untainted nature. Sobrane is in Singapore for her first international solo exhibition, and she joins us this morning to offer us a glimpse into what it means to get close to nature and also to create these beautiful works of art. Now, Sobrane, tell us how you first started going about capturing nature in its raw beauty.
Well, the paintings they're a mixture of adventure and painting, and that energy is put into my artwork.
Okay. Yeah. So what do you actually do? Describe to us the process. You set out for how long, and will you go on your own, and do you sit there and observe and sketch and then come back and paint, or?
Yeah, both ways. I go out a lot. I'm always in nature, always going out. And where I live is on the Kimberley, which is one of the most isolated pockets in Australia. And it's untouched, so it's just so beautiful. And the nature there is really prolific. You can see a lot of nature out there. So I'm always going out, always looking for brolgas, which are the big Saurus cranes. I swim with manta rays.
Oh, so when you go out, you already have in mind what you'd like to sort of study? And
yeah, it's very seasonal. So you know that the brolgas are there between June to August. You know the mantas come in just after the Easter full moon. They feed on the spawning coral. So there's all those sort of things. Turtles come up on the beaches from November to February.
But you do still go to great lengths to capture your subject. We spoke about camping beside crocodile infested waters. Just
yeah, I didn't know that was crocodile infested until we got there. It was one of my first camping trips we'd had out with my partner for 3 years. We've been together, and he took me out out at Wyndham on the Ord River. And there was
Did he know?
Yeah, he knew.
Oh, right.
And he just taught me how to do fishing, like you with a hand line, so you're over the head and you're throwing it in the water. So I thought I'd practice while they all had their great big reels and their man stuff. And I practiced and I threw one in, and I actually caught a barramundi, and it was 55 centimetres long. Oh, I just totally freaked. I'd just come from Sydney. I was living in Sydney.
Wow.
It was crazy, but on the next morning I woke up and there were the brolgas, and I was taking photos of the magpie geese. There was about 100 magpie geese, all black and white, all covering the banks of the river, and as you look forward through, there was the brolgas. And the brolgas are beautiful, they mate for life. So they dance every day for each other. It's just so magical.
You obviously have a keen interest in birds in particular, or certainly for this exhibition.
Yeah, it's a way of depicting the adventures at Arcade in a way. I can bring that back and go, I observed this amazing thing. I do draw marsupials as well, but that's more focusing on the endangered animals. And in Australia we have 22 species that are critically endangered on the marsupial list, so it's huge. Just to get the word out, people don't understand that is out there and that is happening.
Now, you're actually born and raised in a farm in southern West Australia, so you're always surrounded about wilderness. When you were growing up, did you always feel like you would become an adventure artist?
Yeah, I had a funny story. My dad, we were watching TV once and I was 15, and the farm backs onto a reserve that it breeds endangered mammals and marsupials, and my dad, we were watching in the zoo, Perth Zoo was announcing that they were putting out numbats into the wild that bred them up, and it was really fascinating. And I looked at Dad and I said, I've seen these all the time. These are here all around us all the time. And he goes, don't tell anyone, just keep it quiet. So that's the kind of nature that we had all around us all the time. And my mum, she feeds the little blue wrens that you see on the pictures.
Well, let's take a look at some of the highlights of your exhibition. Let's start with, I believe we've got your brolga paintings. Let's bring some of those up. These are the ones here.
Yeah, they're dancing. They're so beautiful. They're very, when they dance, they're like ballerinas and they kind of flutter down onto the ground. They're beautiful.
And the next one we've got here, cockatoo, I believe. Those are the dancing.
Wallbroggers.
I forgot that one.
That one, yeah. What are these ones?
These are broggers. They're
They're
the black-tailed.
cockatoos.
They're the red-tailed cockatoos. The red-tailed cockatoos are a spirit bird in the Indigenous people. So they have a strong spiritual connection, and if you hear them and tune into them, they're the spirits of your ancestors.
I really like colour because
And they're very big. They're over a foot long.
You see quite like sort of painting them in pairs as well.
Yeah.
Depicting the relationship between them.
Yeah, definitely. I'm definitely into how they sit, how they move. Not just it's a bird, but more than that, their spirit. Yeah.
We've got a wren painting now.
Little blue wren.
It's gorgeous.
Thank you.
The colours are absolutely amazing.
They are actually that in real life.
They are.
That is the colour.
Yeah.
And they change. You're looking at the male species right now.
Okay. What medium do you use?
Inks and pastels.
Okay.
Yeah.
Like you mentioned, you take the picture. Oh, this is an example. So you take the picture.
There he is. Yeah, he's on my mum's farm.
Yeah. And then you go back and kind of, I guess, refer to that as you're creating your art.
Yes, absolutely. And I've done a huge one of him. He's like massive, and the little wren's only this big. But yeah, you can see him.
So,
see him there.
on your adventures, you must have had some fairly wild and crazy moments as well.
I've had a few wild adventures, yes.
Yeah, tell us about some of those.
Well, I've been on the Sea Shepherd, which goes down to Antarctica. I didn't go down to Antarctica, but I've been doing that one. I've also hopped on the Bike to Broome run, which was a 5-day bike ride, 2,500 kilometres from Perth to Broome, imitating the whale migration up the coast for the Wilderness Society. And that's when I first saw the jabiru, and that was 3 years ago. And the jabiru was in a creek bed, a dry bed, and as I watched, he's so grand and majestic, and he turned around and he's strong in his power, and he looked at me, and I looked at him. It was just a brief moment where our eyes connected, and then he flew off, and his wings are huge. They're just big, wide, strong strokes that cut through the air. And 2 weeks ago, that was my initiation, I always think, into Broome. 2 weeks ago, I saw the jabiru again. So as I'm leaving to come to Singapore and Malaysia, because I've got an exhibition in Malaysia as well, so it was a real good sign. I'm always into those kind of signs that you see. Yeah.
Any kind of wild adventures that you've had?
Well, I think the crocodile-infested river sleeping next to that was pretty wild. But, you know, when I saw the jabiru only 2 weeks ago, I was just coming back from the Dampier Peninsula, and I've been on one of those dinghies again and looking out at the Buccaneer Archipelago. It's just beautiful up there. It's incredible. The wildlife up there, it's just not touched, you know, and you're watching something that is, it's just natural, and we just don't get that in our world now.
Will you always paint wildlife, do you think?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah. There's so much of it. Yeah. You know, there's orangutans and elephants and all sorts of things over here that you could get your teeth into, so yeah.
What do you think the public will get from your exhibition when they come and see your art?
I think they can take away that the joy, because I feel that I capture that energy that's out there, you know, from the adventures. The energy comes through into my paintings, because I paint pretty much once I've had that adventure. Yeah, so you're putting that up on the wall, you're feeling that energy, you're feeling that joy, the happiness that I have found in nature. You bring that into your house.
What's your next adventure?
Next adventure, I'm heading back to Malaysia, and then I really would like to go and watch the salmon fishing in Broome.
Right. So mainly Australian then?
No, I'm heading over to China in October. I've got an arts residency in China. So, yeah.
What are you planning? Are you going to plan to do some art there while you're there?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, I'd like to exhibit there. I'd like to go, take those birds over there. It would be fascinating. Yeah. And just see that culture too.
Yeah. I believe you can see those cranes also in Japan as well.
Yeah, I did think of Japan. That's what actually made me head towards Singapore, was one of the people who bought one of my bloggers' cranes, and she was Japanese, and she said that. She said, oh, you've got to be in Asia, please bring them over.
Yeah. And what about Southeast Asia? Anywhere in particular that you want to head and capture some of the wildlife around in this region?
In this region, I am definitely going to, well, I wouldn't mind going to see, is it
Kinabalu.
That's the one. Yes,
Go to
Big
Kinabalu.
Mountain. I'd like to head over there and check that out.
That'd be a
That'd be good.
adventure.
And also do some diving off the islands on the east coast of Malaysia would be nice too. Yeah.
Okay, well we look forward to seeing all your artwork coming up.
Yeah, that'd be fun. It would be awesome to come and have a
You in on your adventure?
Oh, yes, I
Crocodile Festival.
Okay, thank you very much for coming in today. And that was adventure artist Sobrane there sharing the fascinating stories behind her artwork. She is hosting her first international solo exhibition, and that's called On the Wings of a Jabiru. It opens this Friday in Singapore. You better catch some of her latest works all the way to the 26th of June. More details are available at the website listed on your screen now, and I believe it's been taken to Malaysia as well, this exhibition.